So this is the new SpeedCinch, along with some of the instruments required for an all-inside meniscus repair. The SpeedCinch has a very ergonomic handle and design with two selector buttons, number 1 and number 2, that allow you to deploy the individual implants. It has a low profile, firm cannula that has a curvature to it and allows you to easily access the joint under the condyles. The end of this has markings at 2mm increments so that you can set the appropriate depth. It also has a depth stop that has markings from 12 to 18 millimeters, and this slides over the cannula, and then you can adjust the markings from 12 all the way to 18, and it just slides over like this, and that is your depth stop. After you have deployed the implants, there is a 2/0 coreless FiberWire suture with a pre-tied Weston knot that slides down nicely and has a very low profile. Next, when you're ready to cut the knot, we have the disposable knot pusher cutter. This is a right knee in which we're going to repair the medial meniscus with a SpeedCinch coming from the contralateral portal. So here is the depth stop guide, which also serves as a cannula. And that allows us to get through the fat pad without having any tissue going inside of the cannula for the SpeedCinch. Here's the SpeedCinch. We're going to insert this through the cannula, and initially we're going to just choose a depth to set it at, which in this case is 14. Now we're going to go over the top of the meniscus and get a sense of our actual depth. So in this case we're going to need a little bit more length, so we're going to readjust this to 18. Now we're again checking, and this should give us plenty of depth in this case. So next what we're going to do is penetrate the meniscus on the far side with the sharp needle that's included in the SpeedCinch. We're going to watch that glide across the joint. We're going to then take our selector button number 1 and deploy that. And then we simply pull on the trigger, and this has a spring that will expel the implant across the meniscus. Now we can simply pull back. Now we're going to go into the second position for our second implant. Push our selector to the number 2 position. After selecting the number 2 button, we're going to pull our trigger and click down to the first click. We feel a little click there, and then we push the rest of the way through our meniscus and then fully deploy, which expels the implant across the meniscus. And then we can pull everything out, and before pulling on the sutures we're going to immediately load the pusher cutter. The pusher cutter is going to go straight in line with the sutures. We don't want to go at an angle, as that could cause premature cutting. So we're going to go straight in line, and we're going to push the knot instead of just pulling on the suture. We're going to push the knot down, get all the slack out of it. Once we're fully pushed down to the meniscus, then we're going to take the button on the top of the cutter and push that forward, and that's going to cut the suture. This shows us our horizontal mattress stitch in the medial meniscus. You can see that the knot is buried down into the meniscus, and so you don't have any prominence of the suture knot.